We got you completely. Got this.
So wherever you see a skull, that's a hideout, and wherever you see an X, that's an ambush location. Coordinates that I just logged are right here. What's up, everybody? This is Gunter Severlo. We are currently on Bandit Hideouts Mod page, and there's two things I want to show you guys. Now, if you scroll down on this page and come to the map, this is the official map for the mod, Bandit Hideouts location map. Now, this map was created by a friend of mine named Cockerball and his friend Mothman. Both these guys created this map for me to support the mod. The link for download is right here. It's 60 megabytes, and yes, it's worth it. I'm going to show you the map right now, actually. So if you download the map, what you're going to get is every hideout is marked on the map with an icon, and here you have a map key. The map key is wherever you see a skull, that's a hideout, and wherever you see an X, that's an ambush location. So as you can see here by the color code, hideouts that are color coded and numbered that you can find on the map. So if we were go to Adler Ranch, which is up here, this hideout has a number 1 on it, which means it's number 1 on their list, and it's green, which means that the O'Driscoll gang is the one that is hiding out at that ranch. So you could look around the map and kind of get an idea what gangs are at what hideout, and as well as the ambush locations. Like this is an ambush location, and there's many others. So I suggest you guys download this and check it out, use it. Every update, new hideout locations are marked on the map, and there you go. Today I'm going to give you guys a tour and show you how I build hideouts for the mod. So what I do is I start up Visual Studio, and then it comes to this screen, and then what I do is I choose this right here, AMJM transport.sln, and we click that. That loads. It takes a couple seconds to load, and then I end up on this screen, which is 3 scripts that get loaded, which are the ones that I use to build hideouts. Now on the right is all the scripts in the mod. There's about 132 scripts. Now let me explain why it says AMJM transport. Basically what Crost and I did was we took the AMJM transport mod, which is his mod, we made a copy of it, and then we just disabled everything that had to do with AMJM transport, like wagons, pirates, hunting, jobs, and etc., and basically disabled all the code for them. And then we renamed the mod Bandit Hideouts. He basically gave me the mod. He says you can name it what you want, so I named it Bandit Hideouts. In AMJM Transport, there was all the bandit features, which was the hideouts, roaming bandits, the posse bandit on horseback, the hired guns, the zombies, etc. So all those are in this mod. These 3 scripts are what I use to build hideouts. This script in particular is all the code, all the hideouts in the mod. The names of each hideout is listed under here, so you can kind of see the entire list. So this script is basically all the hideouts. Right here is the last hideout I just built, actually, before I started recording. So this code here that I have highlighted is one hideout. And that's kind of what it takes. And then there's another hideout underneath that. So these hideouts go all the way down, and there's about 5,800 lines of code here just for hideouts alone. Right now there's about 93 hideouts, and today I'm going to build one and show you guys what it's like to build one, and that'll make like 94 hideouts. Alright, this script is persistent hideouts, and once you have a hideout name established, then you have to put it in its proper location. So the last hideout I built was in Tall Trees, which was this guy right here, Dakota Rock. So this basically puts it on the map in the game, and then you have hideout groups, which is another thing where you put the name of the hideouts. In this script you're specifying what region the hideout is in. So you have to say, you know, is it near Ansburg? Is it near Van Horn? Is it near Valentine? And then that's basically what you do. So this is the last hideout I did in Dakota Rock, and I have it in a couple of places because they're near those locations. Now what I normally do when I build a hideout is I'll take this code right here, and I'm going to show you exactly what I do. So this is what I'm doing. I'll take this code, I'll copy the previous hideout, and I'll press Control C, and then I'll go up, and then I'll come right here, give it some space, and then press Control V, and that makes a copy of the hideout. Now you can see this yellow bar right here, which means it's not saved yet, so I can make changes and whatnot. And then what I like to do is I like to cut this code out and leave that as it is, and then kind of cut this in half so it only has so many, and then just back that up a little bit. And then we don't have a name for this next hideout yet, and what we're going to do is we're going to go in game, and I'm going to show you what hideout we're going to build today. Alright, here we are in game, and the hideout we're going to build today is going to be Don Julio House, Lake Don Julio House. So I'm going to name this Don Julio. So I'm going to start that up. I'm going to go back into the script. Alright, now we're back in the script, and this is what we do. And what I do here is I just name Don Julio. So that's the name of the new hideout, and what I do is I'll take this name, copy it, and then I'll put it into this code here, and I'll paste it, and then you basically have to condense it so it's one line. Right now, since the name isn't established amongst the other scripts, it'll give me errors, which is no big deal because once you establish it, then the errors go away. Next thing I do is I'll name this, and then what gang is going to be there. So there at Don Julio is going to be the Del Lobo. So I'm going to put Lobo, which is the Del Lobo gang. So that's established. And then you have minimum spawn, max spawn, and despawn distances. I'm going to set this to 30. I am just going to leave these as is because they're pretty decent for that location. Now these other points, this here I don't have to do nothing with. I just ignore that. And then the reinforcements, the props, the guard positions, patrol positions, area center plus radius is what I have to get in game. This will set to 500. That's going to be the radius, but we have to capture the coordinate of that. So before we do all that, I'm going to establish the name in the 3 scripts. So what I do next is I copy this, I press Control C, and then I'll go up, scroll up to the top right here, and I go right here and then press Control V, and I add the hideout. That adds the hideout to the list. And then what I'll do is I'll save this, and you get this kind of ready icon that says that things have been saved, and then you get a green thing here that shows you that you saved it. After we do that, then we go to persistent hideouts, and we need to know the location that this hideout is in. So this hideout is in Colorado Springs, so we just go like this, and then we just need the name there, and that's all we need to do. I usually like to just check everything else to make sure I don't forget nothing, and that's all we have to do for that script. Then we go to hideout groups, and at the top under all, I add the code, and then I go down here, and I don't need to put it under this one since it is in New Austin. This means any hideout that is not in New Austin will be put under here, and since it's in New Austin, I don't need to do that. So next we scroll down, and basically we have to set up where this hideout is located. So we scroll to the bottom because all the southern hideouts are in this area. So this is this hideout is near Armadillo, and I think I'm just gonna go with that one. So it's near Armadillo, and that's basically it. So we're gonna save that. And you can see the icon. Next we go to the gang hideouts, and then we just go back to our code for the hideout itself, And what we do next is we go into the game, and I have a menu that I use to capture coordinates. So now we have to capture all these coordinates for the reinforcements, for the center, the patrol, the guard points, the props, and the reinforcements points. Alright, back in game. So what I do now is I basically ride down to that location. Gotta leave the horse right here.
Easy, whoa.
Alright, so what I do is I come up to the area that I want to build a hideout, and I try to get the center. So I go to the map. I kind of decide what the radius of the hideout is going to be, like if the player were to enter it. So you think of a circle and then you center it. So basically kind of right on the corner of the house. And that's going to be about here, something like that. So I have a menu, and what I do is I press page up and the menu comes up. So on this menu, it says log EL card, and this gives me coordinates. Now at the bottom here, you could see what coordinate it is. The coordinate is the 224867040.000. So I use that as a reference to tell me that whatever I'm logging is logged. And I could do other stuff too, but basically to get the center of the hideout. So what we do here is, this is roughly the center from what I want to do. So I just hit enter, and then you can see at the very bottom there it turns to 0. That'll create a notepad document in the main directory of the game. It'll add a coordinate. I'll show you once we get everything captured. So what I do next is I close this with page up. Now I do reinforcements. Where are the reinforcements going to come? Kind of look around in the area, kind of give an idea where I could get the reinforcements from. So maybe over here. I'll run over here. I hit page up again, and then I hit enter. That logs the coordinate, and then I usually get two reinforcement locations. So the next reinforcement location is going to be way over here. Alright, so I go to page up. Basically this is the coordinate. I hit enter. That logs the coordinate, and then next I go to log patrol position. I close that. I just set it to get it ready, and I go back up to the house here. And what this part is I'm just setting up a patrol point. So I'm going to basically start here. So there's going to be a bandit standing here, and then what I do is I'll hit page up again, and then I'll press enter, and that'll log. But what I have to do is I have to actually walk the path of that patrol and then stop. And then what I do now is I just hit enter, and that logs that coordinate. So the coordinate is from H1 to H2. Then I close this, and then we do one more. So there's two patrol paths. So I figured there's going to be a guy here, and hit enter, and then I'll run it. Probably up to this rock is fine. And then he's gonna... And that's it for that one. Next, we establish campfires. So I close that. So we're going to establish a campfire. I might even put two campfires. I'm going to put a campfire right about here. So what I have to do is just go to that spot I want a campfire. I log the coordinate, and then what I do is I go like this. I spawn the campfire, and I close it. So that's the campfire. The campfire actually spawns in when the hideout spawns in, so it's not there all the time. This is like a placeholder, a live placeholder that tells me where the campfire is, because if I didn't spawn it there, I wouldn't know where to put the bandits that are going to be standing around the campfire. So I might do a second campfire. I'm thinking maybe back here. So we could do one back here, I suppose. Yeah, we'll do it right about here. So what I do is I go back here and log this coordinate, and then spawn the campfire, close this, and that's our campfire. Now at this point, what I do is I set up guard positions. When I choose one of these, there's going to be an actual bandit that spawns, but he's kind of a placeholder. I set what I want to set, and then I close it. I stand where I want this guy to be, and then I press page up, and then I hit enter, and that logs the coordinate for this guy's position. Then I close it. When I go do the next position, I open the page again. When I press page up, the guard position or the bandit will spawn. Now I'll do this guy, and that's it for that guy. So if I press page up again, then I'll have another bandit that spawns. Next guy I'm going to do is a stand against the wall. So I set that. This guy, let's see, let's put him right here. Stand against the wall. And then what I do is I bring page up, and he stands against the wall. Alright, so far we got 3. And let's go over by this other campfire. And let's set up for the next campfire. So this, we're going to have a guy standing here. Close that. And then we'll have a guy standing here. And we'll close that. And then we'll have a guy with a guitar. And this guy with a guitar I'm going to put right here. So as soon as I press page up to open the menu, you can have another guy that spawns. And then I'm going to set the guy for the guitar. And let's see, we're going to put him right about here. And then he's going to spawn. And then when I open the menu, he actually plays guitar. Now they're not always sitting. It's random between sitting, standing, drinking coffee, smoking, and different stuff. So it's by itself. They do what they do. Next, we're gonna go inside here, and we're gonna set a guy up for sleeping. And the problem with doing things for sleeping is I can't actually get on the bed. That's the problem. So I can't do nothing there. So the best thing I can do for sleeping is actually just find a spot. So what I do here is I face the opposite direction of where he's gonna basically lie down. So if I stand like this, yeah, you'll see in a sec. So I open the menu, I hit enter, I close the menu, and I step aside, and I bring open the menu again, and he'll spawn. So basically where my feet are is where he will spawn and face. Now he won't always lay like this. He might be on his belly, or he might be on his side, or whatever. And that's it for that part. The other thing I could do is have a guy just standing right here. Stand against the wall. And I'll hit enter, close the menu, open the menu, and that's basically what he'll do. And then I could actually have a guy, since I can't sit in the chairs. I mean, I sort of can, but the way they spawn, they don't actually sit in the chairs. That's the problem. I'll make a guy for a campfire here, and I'll just hit enter. Let's see, get a little closer. Close the menu, and I step over here, and he'll sit down in front of the campfire and do campfire stuff. Alright, so that's all I'm going to put in this little shack. Next, close the door here, and what we'll do is I'll have a guy sitting on the porch here, and I'm going to set this up for sit. And let's see, just make sure I'm in a good spot. Hit enter, close the menu, open open the menu, and the guy will basically sit. So he'll sit like that, or he'll sit cross-legged, or another way. It's random. The next position that we'll do is stand against the wall. And there you go. We're going to set up some other bandits here. Let's see. We'll have a guy standing right here. And we'll have him standing against the wall. Just like that. There you go. I could actually have a guy sleep in the wagon if I wanted to. Sometimes you can't get into these wagons, but so I'll set this guy asleep. And make sure we're far enough in. And there you go. Alright, so the next bandit we'll do is one for here. And we'll have this guy stand against the wall. Like that. And we'll just go like that. And enter. And there you have it. Yeah, and they do different stuff. Alright, what I also like to do is I want to get up top there and have a bandit up there. So I'm going to run up there. We'll have this guy stand. Uh-oh, I pressed two of them, so I have to get rid of one of them. If he's crouched like that, that means he's kind of looking over the ledge. Alright, so next, I think that's enough for all the bandits. So what we got to do now is we got to get the coordinates for the lanterns. I'm going to go over here. And what I do for lanterns is I open up the menu and I go back to log PL card. And I basically grab a coordinate for that. So I go where I want a lantern, go to the PL card and hit enter, and that logs the coordinate for that. And then we'll go over here, and if I can get on top of this guy... no, I can't.
Just get out of my way.
There we go. Log that one. Yeah, if you disturb these guys, they'll respond to you. You could actually fight these guys too. Alright, so this one's got a lantern already, so we don't need one there. Let's put a lantern on this table. If I can get on the table. Yeah, I can't get on the table, so no luck there. Put a lantern on here. Log the card. And so we got a lantern there, that might work. And we'll put a lantern here. That's fine.
You ain't scaring nobody.
I ain't in the mood for no new friends. Get lost. What's the matter with you, huh? Came to your senses, huh?
Yeah, they all look at you. If you go further than that, if you ignore them and you keep doing that, they'll attack you. Okay.
Closer, let's go.
Nowhere to turn
All
now.
right.
It'll be fine, see?
All right.
Shit. God damn. Yeah, that's what happens. Alright, we got all the coordinates. That got out of hand. Alright, so once I got all the coordinates, I basically go back to the horse and I leave the area.
Let's go, boy. Yeah.
What I do now is I go back to the script. I go to the main directory of the game, and all the logging that I did of the coordinates creates a log. It says Bandit Hideouts log. And I open this with Notepad, and all the coordinates that I just logged are right here. So what I have to do is I have to take all this, sort it out, and then put it into the script so that the game will read it and then spawn the hideout. The first thing that we logged is the center of the hideout. So what I do is I set these up like this so I can clearly see the code that I need. This first code is the center of the hideout. These two are reinforcements, and these two are the patrol, and these two are the campfires, and then you have these guys. So I'll do this. Remember, we had two stands, so one of them we have to get rid of. These guys here are the lanterns. I start at the top and I take this code in here in between the brackets, press Control C, and then I go to the code and I go right about here, press Control V, and that pastes the code. Then I go up to reinforcements, capture these two, press Control C, and then I go right here, press Control V, and that's that. And then we go to patrol positions, which is this code here, press Control C and V, and then that's that. Next we do the two campfires, and I usually have codes for the campfires set up already. It's easy to use something existing as a template than it is to, you know, create it all anew. Oops. Alright, so that's the campfires. And then I'm going to get rid of this third one because there's not going to be a third one. And we just bring that up like that. And then here's all the guard positions. We just highlight all this, press Control C, and then we go right about here, press Control V, that pastes all the code, and then basically I go like this and line it all up. Alright, once that's done, then we remove a comma for the last bit of code there. And then next we do the lanterns, which are these four. And go right here for the lanterns. And we need a fourth, so what I'll do is I'll just copy this, put a comma there, hit enter, press Control V, and then I'll grab the last code. Press Control C. Copy, highlight this, Control V, and that's it. So now this is done. I can close this. I don't save it. And then what I do here is I just hit save, and that just saves the code, and you can see it doing its thing there. So that's basically the code for that hideout. It didn't take long, but what takes the longest is, you know, kind of planning and deciding where you're going to put positions and stuff like that, how you want to play it. So next what I do is I go up to build here. So this builds an ASI file, so I'll build the Bandit Hideouts, Now this is going to take like 5 to 8 minutes. Usually smaller hideouts take like 5 minutes or less. It really depends what you put in the hideout. And once the build is done, then under test build here, a .asi file will show up here, and that's what I use to place the ASI. Alright, we're back in game, and there's one thing that I do to re-enable the mod, and what I do is I press Control R, and then I press escape, and then I go back to the code. Alright, back in the code, and the build is complete. It'll say build 1 succeeded, and if there was an issue with the code, it'll say failed, but it didn't, so it's built. So what happens now is in the test build, I get the Bandit Hideouts.asi. So when I update the mod, this is what you guys get. So what I do now is I open up the directory, and because I disabled the mod in game, I delete the log so I could use it in the future for future hideouts. And there's a dev script hook that I use for this. So if you go down to where script hook is, I have a script hook rdr2.dev that I use, which enables me to enable and disable the mod while in game. And that allows me to basically replace the ASI. So here's what I'll do is I'll drag this to the folder and replace it, and that basically updates the ASI. Then I just delete this and minimize all these. Now we go back in game and we test the hideout. So when I'm testing hideouts, when you see videos on my YouTube channel, Gunter Severlo RDR2, and you see my videos that say first test, this is what exactly it is. So now we go back in game and we test the hideout. Alright, we're back in game, and what I do now is I press Control R, and that does that. And then what I do is I go down to time, and I set the clock to real time, and I go to weather. I like it always sunny. Hold the current, and then basically make sure I have the guns and stuff I want, and then we go to the map. And now you could see Lake Don Julio, or our hideout Don Julio, as a icon for a hideout. And this is where we're at. So now the hideout's not going to spawn in until we get into max spawn range. So we have to get closer before we get the icon on the screen. I mainly do these tests to make sure that everything's spawning correctly. Otherwise, most of the time, like 99% of the time, the hideouts spawn in without issues. Alright, so we're not close enough. I'm going to have to make it bigger. Ooh, cactus. Sorry, buddy. Yeah, we're still not close enough. There it is. Alright, so I'm going to have to expand this. Alright, so now you see the bandits spawning in, and I just go to my binoculars. There's the one guy up top. Alright, so now we're just going to attack these guys. Yeah, I'll expand the spawn distance on this.
Stay here, boy.
Probably best to do this at night, then they won't see you. Yeah, he's already seen something there.
Move in!
shit.
Move in now.
You're gonna bleed real good, cocksucker. No use praying, not today.
Inside there. Get in there. Tear him out.
You're surrounded, you idiot! It's all over!
We got you completely.
Got this!
You know we got you surrounded.
Let's see how a bullet does against
God
that
damn.
big skull!
That was awesome. That was a little rough, but we did it. Uh-oh. Here comes some reinforcements. Here's our fireplaces, our campfires. And here's our lanterns. Alright guys, I want to thank you guys for watching. This hideout will be in version 1.14 of the mod, and hope you enjoyed that. I will see you guys on the next one.